with Phrankleen. If you're watching me for the first time, thank you for doing so. If you like what I'm about, don't forget to smash the like button. Give consideration to hitting the subscribe button. This is a segment called Say It Like It Is, where we discuss eclectic topics that pretty much affect, the Black community. And people send me their stories to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. It could be personal experience, it could be a trending topic. If they resonate with me, what I normally do is I make you anonymous, and then I can convert the story to a live stream, story time like this. And then we can vibe, we can talk about it. All right. So it's pretty simple. And if it's a trending topic, you can send it to my email address. If you're watching this on YouTube, look in the description below for my email address. And yeah, if I like it, my glasses are steaming up a little bit. Let's crack on without the glasses. So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. If you can hear me, can see me, smash that like button. Curly, good afternoon. What's going on, people? Right, smash the like button, smash that like button. Okay, let's get the show started. Tosin Adewale, what's up? Smash the like button, all right? So we can gain traction, all right? What's up, people? How's your week been? If you haven't, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Phrankleen, PHRANKLEEN, all right? What's going on, Sam? Hey, what's up, Yoande? Babatunde, Spear Warrior. What's going on, people? So welcome to story time. Now, how my parents diverted my $21,000 for the benefit of my youngest brother, sibling. It's basically the story of one of my viewers, a gentleman who sent me their story. Akwede Farms. What's up, my brother? All right. So let's crack on. All right. So these brother, some years back, he left the shores of Nigeria, Lagos to be precise, for United States in pursuit of what one would regard as a better life, opportunity for himself, right? So, like so many other people, leave the shores of Africa, right? So he left. Now, the long and short was out of desperation at the time, like many people, and I've said this on my channel many times, he got, I think he got a visitor's visa to go to the United States, which was a totally wrong, type of visa if you intend to embed yourself at least permanently into the American system. So out of desperation, the very ugly misconception is as long as I get out of the shores of Africa and I go to the West, which is regarded as paradise. Of course it's not. I'm going to be all right. Unfortunately, this is a story of so many people getting the wrong visas and then being misinformed. Sometimes they're victims of unscrupulous travel agents. And then when they get to the other side, the mask, or, the reality, not the mask, the reality slaps them in the face. And by that time, for so many people, psychologically, they're trapped. It's too difficult to then go back. Then they get sucked into the system. They start living in the shadow of the system. And that end up costing you years in the name of trying to adjust your immigration status and all that stuff. You get the gist. So this guy, this gentleman, like many others, went to the States, and then he got caught up like I explained just now, and it became really challenging. It became really difficult for him. And as we say in Yoruba, Ogbakamu, you know, he resigned to his fate, and he just got his hands on whatever jobs he could do, from car washing, being a kitchen potter, all sorts, you know, living in the shadow of the system. He had to move from state to state at some point when the living condition proved a bit difficult, accommodation problems. He moved from a particular state to another one, and met with some people, not so nice. They tried to force him into sex trafficking, basically for gay sex. And, you know, he's a heterosexual male, but some other nationalities tried to pimp him for gay sex and then promised that he will earn money, of course, at the detriment of his rectum. So he ran, he fled for his life, understandably so. And eventually he met some other persons, helped him. So long and short was life was really rough. And over time, you know, he had about 2, 3 odd jobs that he was doing. He was dependent on other people's identity to survive. And that would also cost him money in the background. All right. Now, having said all of this, what ran concurrently with the hell it was going through in the United States was back home in the motherland, mom and dad, you know, siblings were there. He came, he's got, you know, total of them were 4. So he's got 3 other siblings, all right? The first 2 siblings are females, and him being the third one, male, and then the last one is also a male, right? So he would, whilst suffering, you know, emotional blackmail is a very common weapon in the black community. So even with the conditions that I explained to you, he was obligated to send money home, you know, and he could barely survive, but he would send money home on a monthly basis to mom and dad, and then the other siblings to get their cut. So on a monthly basis, um, everyone was waiting for what I call, you know, they were on his payroll, right? So they would normally get paid. Now, as the years went by, the brother kept his head down. He was struggling. It was really hard for him. But he tried his best. He said, I saved money. I saved money. I just kept saving, you know, like plenty of immigrants, especially if you're living in the shadow of the system. There's always this thing at the back of their minds. For a lot of, you know, the serious-minded ones, is if I get caught tomorrow, if I become a victim of immigration arrest and all that stuff, so that frankly, what happened to your eyes, Apollo? There's nothing wrong with my eyes, man. Stop distracting me. Bye hello for me, Apollo. What is it, Daru? Idiot. Apollo call. Talk shit. So as I was saying, the guy would save money, right? He would save money with the mindset that in case, you know, things were to go completely left for him, he wouldn't be left, you know, empty-handed. He would have things to take to the motherland and be able to leave off, which is the thought process of a lot of people. You know, and if you get caught and then U.S. immigration have to put you on the next flight, at least you have something hopefully to fall back upon in the motherland. So when he started saving money bit by bit, he had no choice. He had nobody else. He was able to turn to his parents. He said the conversation started with his father. and said, Dad, I'd like to buy a parcel of land and, start to build something. And it turned, for a long time, the family were thoroughly aware of what he was going through in the States, countless number of phone calls. He didn't hide anything from them. He would tell them. But of course, the same family, everybody, it's shameful actually, because if one person, and I've been saying this, one person is suffering that much, they will tell you that they empathize with you, but they will keep collecting that money on a monthly basis. And like somebody said to me in a recent email, I can understand if you have maybe elderly parents. Let's assume that they may not have a lot going for them due to the dysfunctional pension system back home in most African countries, which I understand. And let's say you choose to support them with whatever you've got on a monthly basis. I can't get my head around equally supporting grown-up adults, siblings that can get out there and find something to do. They become complacent, they fold their arms, and they become dependent on what you're sending them on a monthly, because that substitutes for them actually going out to hunt for a job or even attempt to build a small business. They will just sit back and then be fully reliant on the monthly handouts they're getting from you because you're based in the diaspora. And then what's run concurrently with that is they're constantly lying and scheming, looking for ways to get more from you. Some of you already know this. So anyways, he discussed with his dad and mom. He said, well, yeah, they, at first, before they got to that point, he said there was a time that the dad brought it up randomly and said, oh, is there a way you could try to get your younger brother, who is the last born, right? The fourth child. Can you get him also into the States? So he said that became a really, really difficult conversation because he lost his cool, and he said to the dad, no, that I'm still struggling here. I've been trapped in here for some years now. I can't sponsor anybody. I don't, I haven't got the energy or the resources for that. If he has a means of coming to the States, he can do that on a solo, right? But for me to bring him, so the dad was a bit narcissistic about it and said, yeah, but you should be able to help your brother. It's an investment into his future. He said he declined. There's a bit of a back and forth about that. So eventually they abandoned that topic. They tried him twice and he refused completely. So now, shortly after that, he then said to the dad, help me find a parcel of land. He sent money home. They've claimed to have found him a 2 plot of land, right, somewhere. And they claim to have done the paperwork. They sent him like a screenshots via WhatsApp and all that stuff. And then the parents had the document. He said, Phrankleen, at the time, I asked my dad, can you get the original documents and help me send it via DHL? He wanted to be in possession of his land documents. Very rightly so, as the owner of the land. He said, but the dad basically came up with this narrative. Oh, you don't know what may happen in America. Let me help you look after the documents. Whenever you come home, your documents is there. Everybody in the family knows it's your land. We're not thieves. So he said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't call you a thief. All I just said was I'd like to be in possession. Anyway, they talked him out of it. The father talked him out of it. Said he talked about this 3 times. They refused to send him the documents, and the dad said, I'll ask your brother to take the picture of the documents to you so you can see it's in my wardrobe, yada, yada, yada. So eventually he caved in because there's nothing he could do. He's stuck in the US, they are back home and can't do much. Now, fast forward. He gradually started sending money, right? For them to commence. Oh, they had a friend of a friend who is an architect, helped him with a very nice architectural design, yeah? So it was meant to be, I think, like a 4 or 5 bedroom duplex that he wanted to start working on. So he approved of the architectural design. They sent him a PDF copy via email. They took the copy to his dad. So he started sending money, right? And they were meant to start the building project as agreed. So dad said, oh, I'm elderly. I can't be on the construction site like every day because, dad's in his like mid 70s, Understandably, you would look at it that, okay, an elderly man can't be on the building site all the time. So the dad nominated the younger brother, the last born, the same one that they wanted him to take to the States, right? And said, your younger brother will be, will be going to the site and be keeping tabs on the day-to-day runnings of the project and all that stuff. So yeah, okay, cool. So he started sending money, right? Mom was also in the background, okay? He would send them money for the foundational work to start and all that stuff. So he said they started. He was getting, he would get a couple of video clip, very short video clip updates. Oh, these are this is the granite, sharp sand. Oh, here's a few bag of cement here and there. They started the pegging and they started digging the foundation, and he believed the project had commenced. Now, the $21,000 that he sent, he lost over time. If you convert it in today's money, that's about 9 million naira or nearly 10 million naira, right? Which is a lot of money for someone who's living in the shadow of the system. Even if you're not living in the shadow of the system, right? It's a lot of money that you've worked for and then it's gone like that. So he was sending money. Oh, we need this and this and this. And of course, he's got limited knowledge about construction. So he would send money. They would tell him they need X, Y, Z. They need this. They need that. They need blah, blah, blah. He was sending money, right? He thought the building project was running smoothly, that everything was looking good. And sometimes it would slow down a bit, to accrue a bit more money. And it got to a point, he said, he wasn't getting much updates. He would ask for video evidences and all that stuff. So he would see them on site when the German flooring started, after the foundation, when they're doing the filling and all that. It's whatever they call the building materials and all this stuff. They talked about hiring an engineer that was supervised alongside his younger brother. He was sending money. Now, so he got to a point where he said at that point he has spent about 4 point something million. And then he got to a point he front loaded another 5 odd million naira and stuff like that. They got the money. And suddenly there was no more updates, right? Then the argument started. And anytime he's on the phone, it flares up, yada, 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 yapping away and stuff. They'll cut the phone off. His dad will call him disrespectful. His younger brother stopped communicating completely. And the whole thing, at that time, he had already clocked about roughly 21,000 US dollars. He had sent a lot of money. He stopped receiving updates and stuff. And the whole conversation moved into he was being disrespectful and talking anyhow to his dad. And then when he started ringing other family members, he would call like his cousins and a couple of his uncles. So, but here's the thing. Here's a dark side of the toxic culture that we have in Africa. Very hard to find persons of integrity. Very, very difficult. Now, what tends to happen is when you have issues with your parents, and I understand this template of behavior too well, and then you report them, your parents, to other elders within the family tree, you'd expect them to be objective, right? You'd expect them to look at the situation objectively or be able to speak some degree of truth to those parents and be able to let them know that this is wrong? No. You see, what they would normally do is they would tell you that they're going to look into the matter. They'll go behind you. They will go and have a sit down with those parents. They will go and listen to them. They would absorb their narrative. They will add bias to it. And then they will come back to you with a bias-ridden narrative. Very rarely will you find those so-called elders, self-appointed elders within the families, who would look at things objectively and say, this is wrong, this is unacceptable, we have to condemn this behavior, this is absolutely criminal, this is not fair, as a parent, you shouldn't do this, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, this guy consulted, a couple of his uncles and told them about the behavior. He sent a lot of money. They stopped communicating. He doesn't know what's going on with the building project. So he said these uncles gave him assurance and said, oh, we're going to investigate. But like I explained, they would sit down with the parents, and long and short is these parents would hijack the whole narrative. They would sell their own narrative. And so the uncles will be forced to take sides with them. So by the time they came back to him on the phone, via WhatsApp, and he's filming, is thousands of miles away in the United States, knowing fully well that this guy can't jump on the plane, to come home, to verify or do anything. They said, oh, you need to apologize to daddy. They said you used some languages. You see, what they would do is they were fixated on his behavior, how he has disrespected his father. They will carry on emphasizing. It's a very wicked psychological game. It's designed to remove focus from the very blatant atrocities, which is they know that this guy has been done over by his family members, right? But they are not going to tell you and say, oh, hey man, you know what? Your dad in connivance with your younger brother, they have fleeced you. No, they will see the truth. And that's one of the core problems that we have in Africa. Trust me, they will see the truth, they will bend it. They will absolutely bend it. They will build layers of lies to conceal the truth. And they will try to break you. They will try to break you mentally. So anyways, these uncles, in fact, he said one of them, who he respected for so many years, eventually stopped talking to him, blocked him on WhatsApp. So the only one that remained, somebody said there's something missing in this story. There's nothing missing. There's nothing missing. You cannot know stories more than the people that the story belonged to. There is nothing missing. It's just the true account of somebody who is stuck abroad, sent a truckload of money to families, and they've fucked him over. They've sabotaged him, they've fleeced him, and then they will create all sorts of toxic narratives just to try to wriggle away, to dodge accountability, and to get away with the atrocities. Point blank simple. I'm just taking you through the journey because it's a long email, which is somebody's outcry. But when people say there's something missing, that's you just making things up in your head. There is nothing missing. Now, as I was saying, the other uncle then said, you have to apologize to your father, this and this. Okay, the guy said, okay, let me see pictures of the progress of, my project. Where is the duplex building of my duplex, or my building project? Where is it at? Can I see? Okay, uncle, can you do me a favor? He even offered this uncle, I will give you X amount of money. Can you please ask them to take you to the site? Let me ascertain that, okay, this is where the project is at the moment. This is what they've done so far. And then we can talk about dealing with my dad. Guess what? The man refused. It will be it will be disrespectful of me to go to your father and ask him to take me to the site and provide me with proof. This is exactly the way you were talking to them that we are trying to get you to resolve. So this guy's like, what? I'm asking you to do it. Well, sorry, this. Eventually, the uncle removed himself from this, and the guy said, only if you go and make up with your dad and apologize for the way you've spoken. Blah. How did I speak? This. If you go and apologize, and then, I can see what I can do, blah, 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 blah. Now, let me hit the pause button. The guy tried everybody that he tried to use within the family to just please go to the site. Let me see where my project is at. None of them were able to go there to just take a set of pictures or record 10, 20 minutes video clips and say, okay, this is the foundation, this is the German flooring, this is the decking, this is what they've done, this is the construction or the casting of the pillars, this is the number of bags of cement and all that. Everybody were ducking and diving. What can you do? This is one of the nightmares that the people who are trapped abroad, this is what they have to deal with when you're dealing with unscrupulous family members and friends. So it was so much, the guy said it was affecting his health. He couldn't focus, he couldn't work, he couldn't sleep. You can imagine, with the taxes and everything, you can imagine the suffering in the system. For somebody living in the shadow of the system to have been able to save over time, 21,000 US dollars is a lot of money. Even plenty of American citizens don't have $21,000 saved. That's a fact. So eventually, as a few more years, so the guy got to a point, it was like a roadblock. The dad stopped talking to him. So he said he had this girlfriend that he was seeing. She was the only person that could calm him down and just say, you know what? You are miles away. They know it. They know you can't jump on the plane, tomorrow morning and come to Africa, Nigeria precisely. So there's nothing you can do. All of these people that could have helped you, they've connived with them blatantly, and there is definitely something that everybody's trying to cover up. So the lady talked some sense to him and said, just lean back. I know it's painful. Just cut your losses. And just hopefully when you're able to travel home. So fast forward to 3+ nearly 4 years after. Something had come through for him in terms of immigration. I think he got his green card. How he got his green card, I don't know. But he said, I was able to get my green card at some point. And he was then able to jump on the plane, fly to Nigeria, right? So, but he was clever because of everything that's happened. One of his childhood friends, who is now like a lawyer, they've been talking on WhatsApp and all that stuff. The guy, because the childhood friend knows his father, so he took a back seat. He was able to instruct other senior lawyers, right? And they were able to get like some police officers. He was able to go to Nigeria now with a bit of money. So his friend was handling this for him, but he wouldn't come to the forefront so that his father and everyone else wouldn't know that he's the one helping this, to fight the case for their son. So the long and short was, they got to the bottom of things. You see, the land that he thought the dad had bought, the 2 plots of land that I mentioned at the start, they never bought the land. The land that his father and mother bought, they bought the land for his younger brother. So all the money that he was sending, the 21,000 US, they spent the money to build a 3-bedroom bungalow for his younger brother. And they spent a chunk of that money to complete the 3-bedroom bungalow for the younger brother, and he had a bit left to start a little business, according to hearsays from some extended family members, right? So he got home and he uncovered the fact that they never bought the land. The land that they bought in the first instance, which was separate amount of money, they bought a parcel of land for the younger brother. Remember, he was attacked on 3 different occasions. He was hounded by the dad particularly, who wanted him to mandatorily bring the younger brother to the States. Even when this guy was near homeless, he had no papers, he was living in the shadow of the system, he was working 3 jobs. He was struggling. So they diverted his funds to build for the younger brother. So he got home, he found out. Some other family members, you know, of course, he was able to find the truth. But the whole thing got really complex. He said, yes, I like that statement. Phrankleen, this was punishment for not helping his brother. Thank you, Maggie Phillips. Yeah, punishment, vindictiveness, pure display of evilness. Of course, very, very evil parents. Very evil. Very evil. So the whole thing was just complex. In fact, he said when the lawyers sat down, because a lot of things were just blood, there's a lot of bloodlines, man. When the parents were quizzed, they blatantly lied that he asked them to build the house for his younger brother. He sent the money and asked them to build. So there was no evidence that they could exactly hold on to prove otherwise. So people were like, yeah. And that's the thing. There is, you know, a lot of sentiments would flow into this. Oh, yeah, you know, just cut your loss. The Lord will build your own house for you. Bull crap. So at this point, dude was at the boiling point. He nearly had a nervous breakdown. He was in tears. He nearly died of heart attack. His friend, lawyer friend in the background, they asked him to cut his losses and all that. The parents lied that he, as a favor, sent a truckload of money, asked them to build a home for his younger brother. At the time of this, younger brother's wife was heavily pregnant with a second child. He never knew that his brother even had a first child. You understand me? And this was the case. The whole thing got messy. A bunch of family. You see, remember those uncles? Those uncles that he was talking to over the phone? Everybody came out of the woodworks. Everyone came, and then Omashe Suruni. Basically in English, oh, you're gonna have to take it easy. You can't. It's abomination. It's not in our family. You can't be seen locking up your parents. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. The long and short was they used emotional blackmail. Somebody said WhatsApp proof. I don't know how all of that got into, you know, was handled. Have you ever dealt with, have you ever been a victim of emotional blackmail and layers of emotional blackmail bang in the center of African family tree? It takes a very strong or very, very strong woman who is mentally strong to fight from start to finish. Most people can't cope. Trust me. Most people can't cope, man. You have to you need like resilience on steroids a top level resilience. You have to be badass. You have to be a beast. And if I may emphasize, particularly in Nigeria, I'm from Nigeria. I'm a Yoruba man. I can't speak for other African countries. Let me tell you now, your mom and dad might be deacon and deaconesses in their local churches. They might be alajis and alajas, right? They might be Reverend Father and Reverend Mrs. When it comes to things like this, they will go diabolical. They will go to the dark side of African spirituality. Oh my jadi. So what I'm telling you, the long and short is, they will become vicious. At that point, they know that they are going to be exposed for their criminality. At that point, when things get to the peak, they wouldn't mind killing you off. So you have got to be fortified. If you're going to take them on, you have got me. I would take on anybody. Me, I'm a proud practitioner of Ifa. Now, I'm not telling you I'm a superhuman, but I practice African spirituality. I am very confident as a honest practitioner of Ifa. There is no arrow. We will defeat them. But if you are not fortified, if you are not fortified, they will kill you off. That's why plenty of diasporans, when they swindle them back home, when they dupe them, when they hijack their assets, their resources, they abandon it and they run up the hills. They just run. They just abandon it and they just flee. That's why. The people you call mommy and daddy, they will go diabolical and they will kill you. Some of them, as a retaliatory action, they can even kill your wife. They can kill your husband. They can go after your children. Remember, they are the ones at fault. Oh, they will. Oh, they will. No, but alone to jetelekun. I'm a paidan. So there is this has become like a Chinese whisper. People are, just leave it, let them take it. You can't take $21,000 from me and go scot-free. Nah. We would dine in hell. I'm a fayani. I'm not going anywhere. I will fight to finish. I will claw back. Anyone that gets caught in the line of fire, let's go. Yeah. That's why you've got to be fortified. It's for me, it's a very simple philosophy. This is my sweat. You take my sweat. I'm coming after you. And I'm not backing down. These stories are prevalent. They've destroyed the lives of so many people. Parents, siblings, friends. And the reason, let me clarify something. The reason I share these stories with you is because I know there are brand new faces, there are brand new sets of eyeballs, there's always brand new set of eardrums that come across my videos, right, on YouTube platform. Somebody might watch this and be like, God damn. I always say, protect your resources. Some people, the universe is fair to them. They might get a second chance to recoup and recover their losses, right? Some may never recover. There are plenty of families back home. I always say to people, they like it. There are plenty of families, when you are abroad and you're trapped into the abroad system, they like it that you can't come home. Like jump on the plane or you haven't got any papers yet. They like it because it works in their favor. So what they do, it's all psychological. They start telling you, oh, you need to start building. You need to own the land. When you look at that on paper, it makes sense. Ojotin lotin dagba, you're growing older. You understand? You need to start investing. Have something you can call yours. You don't know when you're going to get your papers. Oh, moletoma molola. What if they will inject fear into you psychologically? What if immigration? What if you get caught? What if you don't get your papers? And then you start thinking, I'm in my late 30s now. Gosh, I'm in my early 40s now. I better start doing things back home. So that in the worst case scenario, I will have something to fall back upon. And that's where the entrapment lies for so many people. Because when you look at it, it makes sense. If I'm living abroad and I haven't got papers, and my family is asking me to buy land or build something or this, it makes sense. Phrankleen, can you read for me? How do you mean read for you? What does that mean? Francis, is it me or Phrankleen? How can you get in touch with me? Are you talking to me, Casey Edwards? Send me an email. My email, is it me or someone else? If you want to get in touch with me, my email address will be in the description of this video. Except that's for someone else. But if it's me, you know, I'm telling you, man. The worst part, send me an email, foodchannel1960@gmail.com. Please look in the description part of this video. You'll see my email address. All right? All right, Casey. This person spent money, police, lawyers. Thank you, Common Sense Sisters. That's my email address on the, you know, and then eventually, yeah, they will say, even Phrankleen talks about buying land in Africa. Of course, why not? There's nothing wrong with buying lands in Africa. In fact, you need to own lands, acres of land. If you can, if you have the power, ability, investment, why not? The idea of owning lands is a brilliant idea. Land banking and all these things. Ownership of lands is not the problem. The execution is the problem. Coming across unscrupulous people, building a home, having assets in Africa is definitely not a problem. It's falling in the hands of charlatans. You live in the West, you're paying a truckload of bills on a monthly basis. Somebody takes you to the cleaners, they wipe you clean. How many people has got the ability to say, I've lost $21,000 or 21,000 pounds, or I'm just gonna wake up tomorrow, boom, and just pile in another 21,000. That's not the case for everybody. In fact, for so many people, easy. That's not the case. That's just facts, man. There's some people, even here, if they lose 2,000 pounds tonight, they will end up in hospital. Just 2,000 pounds. Phrankleen, I'll be coming to Birmingham, UK in April. Kindly let me know if you're less busy. Oh. Everyone needs to own a land, period. Trust me, man. So this man, they took everything. Eventually, he was deflated. He just caved in. And when he got back to the States, he said, Phrankleen, just about 14 days later, he started with this really bad migraine. You see what I was saying to you earlier? It started like a normal, just like a random headache. And it became like a really bad migraine. And then if he said it felt like his eyeballs were going to fall out of his eye sockets, body pain, and it felt like he was going to die. It got really bad. He started to wee on himself. He was in so much agony for like 2 months. What do you think that is? For those Africans online, for those that get what I'm saying, what do you think that is? Or funnier. He went to the hospital. He said they took blood test after blood test after blood test. They couldn't see anything. Or funny. It would come from his parents. He said, Phrankleen, they took blood after blood. They put me on several medications. They couldn't pinpoint specifically what was wrong. Yeah. He said it got to a point that his eyesight became really blurry, that he couldn't see properly. He felt like he was gonna go blind. Oh, that's prevalent. Someone said that has to be chronic stress. Victor, chronic stress. Of course, that's the way to put it in English terms. Chronic, right? Stress from the realms. Stress. They just need you to drop off like autumn leaf, and that's the end. That's the end. That's what they do. I'm tired of it. Yeah. He said something along the lines that the dad was saying, so what if if we built a house for your younger brother? At the end of the day, we give birth to both of you. It's the audacity for me. They use one child as a springboard for the other. These African parents are unbelievably evil. At least, a lot of them. They would even justify the criminal behavior. You understand me? Stress from the realms, of course. Pavana Technologies. Yeah, I've heard from people's stories where a mother fleeced someone, stole about £11,000, someone here in the UK. And then when everything got exposed, she said, yeah, I carried you for 9 months. I gave birth to you. So what? I'm your mother. If I don't take your £11,000, who else will? Go and do your worst. It's the audacity. Yeah. I have more than 10 incidents with siblings. Each time I got duped, I go to the next for help until I realize they all communicate and work together. Thank you, Fikayo. You see, what Fikayo just shared, I have more than 10 incidents with siblings. Each time I got duped, I go to the next for help until I realize they all communicate. Of course, you see, that's an example there. Some people would come on here and say something don't add up or it's impossible. You may be lucky. You might have 1 or 2 siblings who are good to you, good for you. But that's not the story for a lot of people, man. It's absolutely insane. Afro-American parents also do it. Imagine if Africans collaborated economically instead of fleecing their... Well, yeah, of course. I've said that 1,000,001 times, but they would never. If you ever travel abroad and from a large family, insist they take 2 or more to go with you, else you become a cash cow. You know what? You don't even have to insist. My own message on my platform to people. So one of the reasons why I share this story is not just for the hoo-ha, all the reactions. Is you have to train your mind. You've got to learn to freaking say no, man. Shut people out. This has been my message. Tell me about my stories. It's not really for gossiping and all that, man. It breaks my heart. I'm also human like you. I've got human feelings. I've got blood running through my veins, man. You read these things and it breaks my heart. Forget the fact that I have a show on YouTube, man. And I look at some of these stories like, these are people suffering, man. But welcome. Welcome to real life. These people don't care. Look at this guy. They nearly killed him off. The younger brother, they built a bungalow for him off his back. And he said, till date, not an ounce of remorse from the mom and dad. The last statement from his dad was, if you want to abandon the family, you can abandon the family. You're of no use anyway. Did you hear that? You are of no use anyway. These are the people that this guy has been giving money to for donkey years. That's why Phrankleen keeps telling you, you got to learn to be selfish and look after you. If you're playing God at your own detriment, oh, what would people say? Oh, this and this and this. What would this? There was a guy that recently told me, I met him in Nigeria recently. I bumped into him and we were talking. He recognized me and we're just talking. And he goes, Phrankleen, I've just recently got my papers, in the UK. He got these 2.5 that they gave them. And so he made a trip to Nigeria and he said, bro, he said, me and my wife, we support my younger brother and sister on a monthly basis with about 300 quid, 300 pounds. They send home. Guess what? So he came to Nigeria unannounced. And guess what he found? He found that his younger brother has a poultry business that's fully functioning. The guy has already built a 4-bedroom bungalow. The younger sister has also recently completed her bungalow. This brother doesn't have a plot of land to himself in Nigeria. For years, himself and his wife have been sending money, taking care of them. Sometimes sending them clothing, shoes. And guess what? So this guy said when he lost his cool and, bust out a major argument and stuff, it turns out their parents were in on it. They were fully aware all the while. They knew. And then the mom said, oh, what's that thing in Yoruba? Ṣé bí Ọlọ́run ni? Kí ló ṣe tẹ́nìkan ò ṣe rí? Ṣé yẹn náà ló fariwo? Basically in English is, oh, so are you God? So because you've helped them with a few change here and there is why you are so loud with a loudspeaker attached to your lungs. So what? How much did you spend? Somebody said, did the man recover? He just gave up on everything. If that's the one you're referring to, the actual story. He's back in the States and he's put it all behind him. He just gave up. He caved in. And he lost all that money. If you're asking about the man, this story, yeah, he gave up. He just gave up. And they nearly killed him. They attacked him spiritually. So he caved in. And up till date, he said not an ounce of remorse, no apologies, no refunds, nothing. He doesn't speak to the father anymore, doesn't speak to the mom, that particular sibling, and that's it. And those people are carrying, they're still talking negatively about him. He's hearing some things filtering into his eardrums in the background. That's what they do. Character assassination, they'll make up lies, they'll do all sorts, man. Off the back of his sweat, the guy has a 3-bedroom bungalow, 2 children, 1 wife. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, so then there is I think the odd threats, by his father. Oh, you will see how your life will end up, sorry. You see how your life will end up. Your own children will do X, Y, Z to you. That's what these African parents do. They'll start cursing you, hoping for the nastiest of things to happen between you and your own children, for their own evil and selfish gratification. That's how bad it gets. Yeah, you say your enemies are members of your household. I always say your prime enemies are members of your household. Believe me. Trust me, when you cut them off, you will still make heaven. The manipulation will eat you dry if you don't. That's just my message. There is no value system in Nigeria again. People are ready to smash you to smithereens and swindle you off all your life savings, even members of your family. Yeah. In fact, if I tell you from first-hand experience, based on my knowledge, somebody that goes home often, and I'm thoroughly aware of the Nigerian environment and all that. When people see you as a diaspora and like somebody like me jaton in the streets, like even I'm managing build, as some of you already know, I'm managing building projects for diasporans. I'm at the forefront, of procurement of building materials. There is accountability from A to Z in everything that I do. The average Nigerian on ground, they don't like that. They can't connive with me. They can't, once they can't, once they can't use you for selfish gain, they will have resentment. There's no genuine love, and if they're laughing and smiling in your face, it's with the hope of they want to get something. If you remain impenetrable, they will despise you. Believe me. Trust me. Oh, if you try, for most people, if you try to, say you were trying to buy, as an example, you were trying to buy a box of these glass cups, right? Let's say a box of these glass cups, and you needed it for your kitchen or for a party or whatever, right? And the moment you haven't got a clue on how to buy this yourself, and then the moment you say, something to Mr. A, oh, where can we get these glass cups and stuff? Instantaneously, they always know somebody on their speed dial. They just tell the person. So let's say a box of 12 is sold for 20,000 naira, for example. Already tell them to call it 50,000, and then when you get there, that your person will behave like they are trying to help you get the best price. Yeah. Oh, no, they will even tell you, don't, no, bro, don't buy it. That's too much, man. That's too expensive. And then you would then fall for the trick. Like, no, don't worry about it. Let's just buy it, man. The sun is too much. Bro, come on, man. 45,000 naira for this? This country, man. Everything is changing in this country. He's already signaled the shop owner. You pay with your card or cash. You leave. Thank you. They collect the receipt. They say goodbye. He's going to come back later to get half of the extra amount on the 20,000. Do you understand? Imagine you then have 10 different transactions. You are buying something in large quantity. There's always connivance. So when you see people like that, don't you think that in extreme cases, they can get you kidnapped, or they can even get you killed off? And some of these people, you are actually good to them. You come home from abroad, you buy them stuff, you give them money, you look after their children. Your gesture of goodwill. This is why I always say to people, man, don't go home acting like a god, wanting to solve their problem. Hey, look at me, I'm from the US. Oh, feeling sorry for everybody. Learn to curb your enthusiasm. You have to learn to look away. Sometimes they will deliberately start conversations in your earshot, such and such, school fees has not been paid, and this is part of the emotional blackmail tactic to reel you in so you can part with money. Oh, she's been away from school. You've got to learn to just get up. That's the door. Use it and disappear. Trust me. Somebody said, I would burn down the brother's bungalow and take the next plane back to the US. That's if you are able to get away with that. And I wouldn't encourage arson attack, because if you do that and that thing doesn't work, or you get caught by authorities, you can absolutely lose your freedoms. And I understand, it's crazy. You can go off tangent and do something really crazy, and then you get caught, and you may not be able to go back to the States or UK or wherever you came from. You may end up in prison. They will spend even more money, add to the charges, and absolutely obliterate your life. So you have to be careful, man. About any that's why I say to people, look after yourself, look after your resources. So, like, for example, I sell lands. I've helped so many diasporans buy lands, become landowners through Adron Homes, and stuff. And people send me emails, Phrankleen, send me the application pack for Adron Homes and things like that. Why? Because it alleviates eliminates the, headache, giving money to somebody. You're paying your money, you're maybe in installment, or you buy the land outrightly. There are plenty of people through me, people I've never met in my life, that have bought land. Some of them have even started their building projects. Some of them, I never spoke to them again after that. I've never seen them or any emails. They still watch me, I don't know. And some of them even tell me, oh, I've started something on my land in Lagos, my land in Ibadan, and this and this. And I know a woman that bought her land through me on Adron Homes, that said before she found out about Adron Homes, she was swindled twice by her own family. One, her mom was involved. After the mother died, her older brother swindled her of about 3.5 million naira to buy a plot of land. It's crazy. You just have to be smart, and protect your resources, man. So that's my story, man. My uncle spent $1 million on party in Dubai. Meanwhile, some of his family members are poor. This whole idea of counting another man's money. I don't know your uncle. I don't know what he did to see $1 million. If you're not obligated to fix all family members' problems, that's another thing. Somebody has $1 million. How did he make his money? He's not obligated to give handout to family members. That's another thing. Okay? If he worked hard for his money legitimately, let him enjoy his money in Dubai. Let those family members go find a job on their own. Lucky he had his lawyer, can't I call him? Very unbelievable. His younger brother is building his legacy while he's working like a dog in the US. Of course. Do you know how many people, before I go, do you know how many people have sent me emails and say, Phrankleen, I went home after I got my papers, or some people, they might even have their papers, but it's just they don't go home often, and then they go home, and then they are shocked. They're taken aback. Do you know why they're shocked? Because you have a totally different impression of the people back home. You are playing God. You're the one doing this, doing that. They're taking your money, free money. And then you go home, you see them in nice 4x4 cars, and you see this one in nice business. You see this one, you look at them, they look fresh, they wear designer labels, they're balling. And you are like, wait, what? That's right. That's right. Because unfortunately, the toxic mentality is, Phrankleen is there in the UK. If I can manipulate Phrankleen, and if I can get 100K, 100,000 naira, 80,000 naira, 50,000 naira off Phrankleen on a monthly basis, 150,000 naira, why not? In 10 months, 150,000 naira, in 10 months, that's 1.5 million naira of Phrankleen's free money. And then they keep finessing Phrankleen, subjecting Phrankleen to emotional blackmail. And if they can get away with it, they can even get more. Hey, can you help me buy this and this and ship that? They add extra to it, they lie, they get extra 100,000 there, extra 200,000 there, extra 80,000 there. They keep fleecing you. They're never going to stop. They're never going to stop. Somebody told me that she went home recently. I remember this. And she got to Nigeria and she was shocked. Her younger sister, they talk virtually every day on WhatsApp. They discuss a lot. They spend hours. When she finishes work late at night, they will call each other, video call. She went to Nigeria unannounced, and she found out from an extended member of the family that the same younger sister has a 5-acre farmland. Did you hear what I said? 5-acre farmland. And she never mentioned it to her older sister. So what? You're going to find out that your sister has a 5-acre farmland. She's doing very well. She's planting, she's rearing animals, livestock farming. She's making cool cash. What are you going to do? Humans. This is somebody that you talk to virtually every day. You're on WhatsApp together. You're talking for hours. You're always video calling. You're sending her clothings. You know, you think, oh, this is my sister. We are like this, 5 and 6. That's a lie. She has a 5-acre farmland with employees. And she never mentioned it to her sister. And the sister is here in the UK with 2 jobs. Do you see what I'm saying? She was devastated that the older sister found out about the farmland because she deliberately, intentionally kept it on the wraps. Why wouldn't she tell her sister? Because she doesn't want to. The reason why she wouldn't tell her is to carry on giving the older sister in the UK a false impression that she hasn't got much, because the older sister is always sending her money. Do you understand? And some of these behavior, the parents back home, if the parents are involved, they're always involved in this. The moment people are getting money, they're having their mouth stuffed with money by the unscrupulous ones. They keep quiet. They are in on the frauds. Exactly. They make themselves look poor so they can keep getting money from you. It's an age-old tactic. Because you know why? If your sibling tells you, hey, sis, I have a 5-acre farmland, you're going to be like, huh? You have a 5-acre farmland? Because normally, you're not going to give her money anymore. When the school fees of the children are due, Auntie me, my sister, this, you're going to give her money. But you are the mug. So, on a final note, this is what I say to people. Are we asking you not to be nice? But your niceness needs to come with a heightened degree of smartness. If you're being nice, you're foolishly throwing your hard-earned money at your own detriment. I think some of you get the buzz of you're in the UK. You're in the UK. You're in the US. You're sending money to people back home. They are actually looking at you like a joke. That's how they look at you, like a mug. Didini, amukumeko. I know it's upsetting, but that's exactly how they look at most diasporans. That's why people will spend their years, you're shelling out money, and then you're starting to grow older, you haven't got any investments, you haven't got nothing. The same people will turn around to call you names. That's all we're saying. Look at this gentleman, $21,000, gone down the drain, man. Gone. All he said is, Phrankleen, I'm currently just rebuilding myself. I wish him all the best. Phrankleen, my brother called me last year, January, asking me for money. He said he will commit suicide. Whoa, because he was broke. Fast forward 10 months later, he bought a house in South Africa. There you go. He bought a house in South Africa and he was about to commit suicide because you were not going to give him money. 21K is a lot of money. He could have bought half of Bitcoin, but he lost due to his horrible, greedy family members. Of course, if not Bitcoin, he could have done a lot with that. He could have done so much with that. I have someone try to use suicide as blackmail. You've got to Daju Kala Uwaika. My God, they do not care. No. The suicide is just a lie, man. It's just a bloody lie. It's a lie. I'm depressed. It's a lie. That's to make you jump, you know, when you hear that. Okay, stop. Why? Why would you? Why? And then you just quickly send them money. There are people that fall for that, man. Yeah. A lot of the family members will always ask from you and then laugh at you for not having nothing back home. Yes, they're the timekeepers, they're the ones that will remind you that you've been abroad for 18 years, you've been in the UK for 16 years. They're the ones, thank you for the super chat, EB. They're the ones that will tell you that, oh, all these years in UK, you don't have anything in Nigeria. Oh, you've not built a home in Ghana. You have nothing to yourself. You're a waste of space. Oh, they will remind you. Oh, they will remind you. They will taunt you. They will insult you. They will get under your skin. That's why my message is don't help people at your own detriment. Don't be a victim of emotional blackmail. Learn to say no. Thank you for your eyeballs and eardrums. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you haven't, smash the like button. Give consideration to the to subscribing. Follow me on Instagram at Phrankleen. Send me your stories to foodchannel1960 at gmail.com. If you have any trending topics that you'd like me to react to, please send it to me. All right. Thank you very much. And that's all for now. Yeah. Have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. And also a wonderful weekend. Peace and love, man. Bye-bye.